Hey, his performance tonight. What did you think of all he gave you guys, especially after Norm hit the three, they called a timeout and he looked gassed, but he still kept going.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Kawhi lives for. Trying to get to this point where he's healthy for the playoffs, and we know if we got a healthy Kawhi, we can win any series, and that just shows you tonight. What he's capable of doing. I think the week layoff kind of hurt him a little bit. I think for game one, I think when he's off for a little bit, he has a slow start. But tonight, like I said, we needed every bit of it. We had some guys gut through a couple of things, a couple of knick-knack injuries, but um, those guys stayed and they played, they stayed with it. And I'm just, saying, proud of our team. Just, get down big to come back and fight. Couple calls didn't go our way, but we stayed with it. We stayed poised. And for me, it was just the mentality. Like I said, at halftime, what got us back in the game was the grit and the grind. It wasn't making shots. It wasn't. It's get your ass back in transition, guard the basketball, be physical, and everything else is going to take care of itself. And so, like I said, Norm hit some big shots down the stretch. KD with a big offensive rebound. But like I said, just a total team effort, and that's who we got to be every night.
Hi. Speaking of Norm, he hit 3 shots in the fourth. He struggled throughout the entire series up until that point. Do you think this can be a turning point for him, where now he can kind of use it to propel himself for the rest of the series?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he has the mentality. If he misses a shot, he's not worried about the next. He's taking it. And that's just who he is. And he puts too much work in every single day. Not to play well, not to shoot the ball well. And so when he wasn't shooting the ball well, he came up with two big stops. Got a steal, I think. So just doing other things. If you're not going to score the basketball, if you're struggling to score, what else can you bring to the team? And that's our mentality. You got to bring something every night. And I thought Norm did that tonight, even though he didn't make shots early.
Coach, Saturday you had 20 turnovers. They had 11. Tonight that was flipped. Just what changed for you?
We still have some bad turnovers, like some unforced turnovers. Like we got to be better. We understand they're going to play different defenses, but to me, if we just take our time and execute the way we're capable of executing, we can get any shot we want, and we feel like that. And so, not getting bored with the process. You know, Coach Adam has done a great job making adjustments. He's doing a really good job. And so it's going to be a back and forth, like I said, chess match. And so for first time coaching in the playoffs as the head coach, he's doing a really good job. And so, we just got to keep fighting, keep competing. We know we're dealing with the best player in the world right now. Just got to keep showing different coverages and keep going.
See, you were able to get Ben in there early first half, early second half. Yeah. How'd you like that particular adjustment? What did you feel like it did, not just for Ben, but especially for your team?
It was good for us. No, it was good for us. Like, we talked about it. I talked to Ben today, this morning, just told him what I was going to try to change up and try to force their hand. And it worked tonight. So we'll see going forward what happens.
Ty, can you talk about just what it takes for Kawhi to get back in position to have a game like tonight? I mean, we all ask you every single game when he's out, when is he coming back, how's he doing, what's he able to do, and that you can't say that much, but obviously he's doing a lot behind the scenes to be able to have a kind of game like he did tonight.
Yeah, just the hard work. Every time someone gives up on him, he comes back. And so, he's a hard worker. He's dedicated, like I said, to keeping his body right. And sometimes you just, some unfortunate things happen. You can't control that, but it's not from a lack of work. It's not from a lack of wanting to be here. And just sometimes some bad luck hits, but he's going to keep coming back, and he's going to get to this point like he is right now. And that's why I'm just so happy for him.
Ty, you talked about, Zoo pregame guarding Nikola Jokic, but obviously sent a ton of bodies at him today. 7 turnovers, looked a little bit uncomfortable at times. What does it take just to guard Nikola Jokic, and how did that go today?
It takes a lot. Like I said, I think Coach Adam is doing a great job of just putting him in different spots, different positions. And for a 7-footer like Zoo to have to navigate through pin downs and away screens, and it's tough. It's tough. You have a 7-foot guard. He can put the ball on the floor. He's one of the best passers in the world. He can shoot threes. He can shoot floaters. He can post smaller guys. It's just a tough cover. And so we just got to do whatever we can to try to keep him off balance and just give him different looks.
You had to call a timeout on that sideline when James kind of got jammed up. And I want to know just from your perspective more about that play out of the timeout. Kawhi hits that jumper, and then the defense where Kawhi winds up getting a steal, like what else did you tell your team, to set up that
No,
sequence
we got
up?
11 seconds on the shot clock. This is what we're running. Kawhi get a basket, and let's get a stop, and we win this game. And our team went down and did it. So just staying poised down the stretch, understanding how we want to execute, and did a good job of doing that.
Coach, nice job today. I guess Norman Powell and and Jamal Murray kind of had that dust up a little. How were you? How did you think your team responded after that?
I thought we responded well. I thought we responded well. I actually kind of got Norm going. He made 3 shots, after that. But it just, like I said, Jamal just said, just competing. It wasn't anything dirty, just playing hard, competing. And when you're in the playoffs, if things like this don't happen, then I don't know if you're playing hard enough. So it's going to happen.
Ty, yesterday you said you wanted to get Kawhi into attack mode. Obviously, he did that tonight. But how do you get him into that mode without other guys, I guess, just getting lost in the flow of the game?
Nobody getting lost. Norm had 14 shots. James had 17. Zoo did what he did. And, our best player, if he's going like that, we're going to continue to feed him. And so guys are getting their shots. All the guys understand their roles and when shots are going to come, and they have no problem with that. So I don't think guys got lost. I thought Kawhi willed us to a win.
Ty, Jamal kind of got going throughout the night, but it seemed like Chris never let up with his effort on him. Just kind of how impressed were you with what he was able to do on Jamal tonight constantly throughout the game?
Another tough cover. I mean, you got a guy who can score at all 3 levels, constant movement. And KD, like I said, just keeps fighting and keeps competing. Jamal makes a tough 3, tough floater. He just keeps coming back. And like I said, came up with a big steal at the end of the game, and then also came up with a big offensive rebound that we scored on as well. So, I mean, taking on KD's personality, like that's who we got to be. And so he brings that toughness for us every night.